Welcome to the Kane and Reloaded Show. This your boy 305 Kane.
And this your boy DJ Reloaded.
Tonight, we're going to talk about the Elijah Celebration of Life going down July 11th, Saturday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Utah Park in Aurora, Colorado. Please make sure you show up and support the cause. I'm going to give you a little background on Elijah, give you a little bit of his story. Last August, police officers in Aurora, Colorado approached 23-year-old Elijah McClain as he walked home from a convenience store. The Aurora Police Department later said that a 911 caller had reported a suspicious person in a ski mask, and that when the officers confronted McClain, who was not armed, had not committed any kind of crime, he resisted arrest. In the 15 minutes that followed, the officers tackled McClain to the ground, put him in a chokehold, and called first responders who injected him with ketamine. He had a heart attack on the way to the hospital and died days later after he was declared brain dead. What you know about the situation, DJ Reloaded?
I mean, one, I know the situation shouldn't have never happened, right?
Facts.
A young man went to a convenience store, looking out for his brother, bought a tea for his brother, and he was on his way home with a bag from the convenience store as well in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
You had someone call the police, claiming he's seen a suspicious person walking through the neighborhood. Let me stop right there. And I listened to the call on 911, and it blew my mind that young man walking home, most likely listening to music, bag in his hand, not running, not looking suspicious, and someone called the police on him and reported him just walking home. To me, the 911 call was uncalled for and unjust. That was my first take on it. That's what first pissed me off when I was listening to the tape, how everything transpired. There was no crime committed. There was no violent act committed. So she dispatched the police, and it should have been more of a welfare check than anything. Police arrived. He kept walking, and they pretty much cut him off. And that's when a struggle, because all the young man wanted to do was get home.
Mm-hmm.
He let them know that he's an introvert. And he was just trying to get home to give his brother the tea that his brother wanted.
Let me ask you this question. There was no crimes committed at all.
No.
So it was not even a suspicious looking crime that could be going on, or somebody looking like they might be committing a crime, or touching a car, or in somebody's yard, ain't supposed to be there. He's just walking home. Okay, continue. I just wanted to make that clear.
I say this here, right? For 2020, it shouldn't be a crime for us to walk home as Black people in our communities. That's the thing that's like, it blows my mind that a young man was just walking home, and he was pretty much, at that point harassed by the police. If the police really wanted to do their job, just follow him, just trail him. There's many ways they could have handled this situation rather than stopping this young man, putting him in the chokehold, and then, calling for the EMTs, and they injected him, with ketamine, which, caused him, to pass later on. It's unfortunate that this situation happened. I met his mom. She seemed like a very sweet, kind-hearted woman. The whole family. I met a couple. I met a sister as well. So I could tell that family is they want justice. I can only imagine walking in their shoes, because it was my baby. I want justice too, and I want them to have justice. So that's why my time, my effort, doing this show tonight, it means a lot, right? For me, because I'm tired of these situations. I was talking to Ebony, shout out to Ebony, she was on the show, and I was like, man, just looking at the story, and it reminded me of Trayvon Martin all over again.
Mm-mm-mm. That's a perfect comparison.
But this time it was actually police officers, three grown men, right? Three grown men, and they always use that. Oh, he reached for my gun. Body cameras fell off. They didn't want to pick him back up. Actually, they let him down. He was on the ground throwing up. You let him know that he can't breathe. Um, sit him up. This man is not a criminal. Let's not treat this man as a criminal. They did everything that they wasn't supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
They treated him like he committed a crime when he didn't commit a crime.
When it wasn't, they didn't even get called for a crime.
And then in the tape, you could hear them, trying to see and figure out what was going on and what happened. So to me, they didn't even know why they was out there. If I could put the call in the description, and you can look at the footage yourself. To me, I felt like they was confused.
When is it illegal for an officer to put his hands on you?
Officers should be putting their hands on you when they're making an arrest. They didn't have anything to make an arrest on him, right?
Why did they touch?
Well, it's because in today's society, police officers feel like they're above the law, and this is my opinion, right? And when you don't follow their orders, even though you're not in the wrong, they're going to escalate the situation. I was doing some research on when is an arrest, when is an illegal arrest. So basically, when what I read pretty much is probable cause, observation alone. Saying can be. They didn't observate. They did. There was no observation there. They just pulled up, cut them off, right?
They have reason of suspicion. They had suspicion of a crime, and they had no suspicion of any crime.
None. There was no crime reported.
So he should have never been detained at all because it was no suspicion of a crime. They should have let him go on about his way because he did absolutely nothing for you to be talking to me right now.
And this is why this family want justice. I want justice for him. So again, we're not gonna, we had protests. There was a protest for Elijah just this past weekend. After the protest went down to the precinct out here as well. And big up to all the protesters out there that's doing it peacefully. Your voices are being heard. Again, I can't commend you guys and take my head off to you guys enough. Let's not be silent. Let's not let these movements just happen for a short period of time. Let this movement be what changes and pushes into a new era.
Let me ask you this question. Did you see the photo of the officer doing a chokehold on another officer?
Yes, I did. I thought that was very disgusting. I was just looking at it. I mean, I thought that was very disgusting. You had a female cop, another white male cop choking another white male cop. They fired them. But I don't, why would you even go near the location where this young man died and you see people, marching for justice? Let me be honest with you, right? I really think that in every city, they need to do a wide investigation on every individual as a police, because I feel like a lot of hate groups have infiltrated police officers, policing in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's kind of hard to ask for justice and push for justice, because you're fighting a system that's biased towards you. Police officers, even in the George Floyd case, when I read the police report and I looked at the video, I was kind of confused because what was written in the police report didn't match the video. So now in my mind, I'm saying to myself that how often does this happen where police officers write what they want to write? You have somebody come in and do an investigation off the police report, which is bogus, and then the DA come back with, well, we don't have any evidence to charge the police.
You know what I need people to realize too? a lot of people watch these movies and say, "Oh, it's just a movie." That same corruption is in the police force as we speak. Same
Yeah.
type of corruption. You see in plenty of movies on how they write up their own police report to cover their own behinds, or a superior officer tell the lower officer what to do so he won't get himself in trouble. They cover themselves.
Well, they're gonna pretty much, let that officer know, as far as the captain, the lieutenant, how to write the report,
Mm-hmm.
and that way they don't incriminate themselves. That buddy system,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it really is. They're gonna look out for each other, no matter what, and that's the unfortunate part, because here they is taking a job to serve and protect, and they're no different from the thugs that's running rapid in neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point. And that's the problem I have with police. Like I was speaking to one of my friends last night, and I was telling him at what, we were just talking about police brutality and all that, and I was, and I have little kids, and I was telling him, living in America, being black, we don't feel like we are part of the American dream, American culture. So my question to him was, at what age do I tell my daughter that it's a good chance that she may encounter a hostile situation with a police officer pulling her out of the car, treating her less than a woman? At what age do I have that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's sad that we gotta live by different rules in a country that black people fought for white people freedom. It's sad that we live in a country that, again, we help build, we help create, we invented so many wonderful things in this country, from the potato chip to the ice cream to the monkey wrench to the doorknob to GPS, that we get treated like we less than. It's, to me, I'm kind of burned out of it, and that's why, like for me, I'd rather spend the rest of my days fighting for my people, letting my people know that I love them and I'm on their side. Now, if you wrong, you wrong. I'm gonna let you know.
Right. This situation, man, especially with Elijah, as I dig into it and I read up and I watch videos, and I watch videos on him alone playing the violin and doing his thing. Ain't no way I look at that 23-year-old, me, not a police officer, feel like if I went and took his bag that was in his hand, he wouldn't even put up a fight. So I don't see how these three grown men feel like they had to wrestle that young man. He didn't look like a fighter at all. He wasn't bothering anyone at all. And all he was doing was trying to get home.
Right.
It was no crime committed at all. So he shouldn't even been detained at all. He shouldn't have been stopped. They shouldn't have had no reason to talk to him other than, "Are you okay? Where you headed? You going home? Okay, make sure you make it there safe. We'll, some people said you might be having some problems. We'll follow you home. We'll give you a ride home. We'll assist you at getting home, not deprive him from life for doing nothing." And that is a problem that not only just black people, white people, Spanish, whoever, everybody has to stand up for that, because that could be anybody's child. But guess what? It's not anybody's child. It's always my people's kids. Walking down the street, like you say, Trayvon Martin, man went and got Skittles in Arizona and end up losing his life because somebody else felt he was suspicious. Did no crime, wasn't no crime committed, wasn't nowhere near, they had nothing on him. But same situation with Elijah. All he was doing was trying to get home. Can't even make it home. That's sad. I got a son.
Right.
I got 3 daughters.
Right.
And when you say, when do I have that conversation with them? You know how tough that's going to be to tell my son he can't walk home?
Right.
Because you have police out here that's taking kids' lives for no reason. That makes no sense at all for a young man to walk home and his life means nothing. I just feel the whole situation from beginning to end, even with the paramedics, I feel like they need to be charged. You
I,
know, I feel like they assisting into what happened to him because they didn't take the right medical procedures because they would have known not to shoot him up with anything
right,
until they really established a situation, got him in front of doctors and things like that because
right.
he died on the way to the hospital.
I mean, and not to change topic, Dave Young, the DA, I would like for him to find no fault in these officers. And there's other cases that, you know, that he have demonstrated that he wasn't fit for his job. Watch a video, Young Farrell, he spoke about this as well. And I feel the same way. Um, I'm, he was never fit to be a DA for Colorado.
Mm.
To look at the tape, to look at the footage, to look at the evidence, to find no fault in these officers, that's a heartless man there.
But see, that's the thing though. You have so many of those DAs around the country. Look how many people in jail for nothing. Wasn't even them. Half the time it really ain't even them. They might have did something else, but half the time it ain't them. Because DAs they play that you give me him, I give you him system, and they look out for each other. Look at the
Right.
one at Aubrey down in Savannah. Same situation.
Same situation. And and,
George
and,
Floyd,
and
same situation.
and I just want to take a time to just recognize Miss McClain. She's in the building. Appreciate you. Just let you know again, man. I'm here. Trying to use my voice, my platform, and my time is yours. And I want your son to have justice. I want you to have peace. Miss Queen. No black woman should have to go through this.
At
And
all.
for me as a black man, I'm fed up. Like I said again, the time is now for us to use our voice to come together as a community, black, white, Mexican, and ask for justice, ask for equal opportunity. This is what this land promised us, and this is not what we're getting. This is not what we're seeing. Like I said again, the same people believe that this doesn't happen. When Martin Luther King was walking and marching in Selma, who was there with the dogs and the water holes? And
Remember we said that a couple videos ago?
who was there to meet them and force? It was the police.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that police, have a violent history when it comes down to anything that we're doing. And hell, this young man was just walking home. Somebody got to make it make sense for us. This is 2020. We still talking about the same thing.
Make it make sense. How does a young man go to the store, going home, lose his life for not doing nothing? Make it make sense to me.
For just being a big brother.
Make it make sense to me. You can't. You can't make it make sense. So don't even try to.
And this is all topic. And this is all topic because, when you see, and I'm seeing in the media how individuals are shooting, black folks, at Breonna Taylor protests, white male, white people buying up guns at an alarming rate right now. Speaking of a race riot, all we asking for is equal opportunity and justice and be treated like human beings. Like, what I really want to know, what is it about being black that make the world hate us?
I can tell you this because not, a couple this weekend actually. You had this, gun society that got together and marched through Stone Mountain, which is supposedly the KKK headquarters, which is it's a lot that goes on down there. And that's where they used to do a lot of hanging and lynching and stuff up there and all type of stuff at Stone Mountain. And they marched through with force to show force because it was a thing going around here in Georgia that the Ku Klux Klan was going to start randomly shooting crowds of people
Mm.
in Atlanta, and to show that everybody not going to take that. And you think you're going to start a race war, but you say white people are buying guns up at an alarming rate. Black people are too. All eyes don't have to come out the store either.
Yeah, but like I said again, and that's the unfortunate bit about everything that's going on, the climate of America. All people want is equal opportunities. I was watching Farrakhan's speech this weekend, and he touched on a lot of things, man, that's going on in this world. All I want to say is this here, man, Black people. It's time for us to, look at each other, love each other, support each other. It's 2020 and I'm not naive. We got to start moving differently in our communities because it ain't gonna never get better looking for help from anybody else. That help got to come from within. We got a strong Black woman who lost her son, lost her baby, a sister lost a brother, and we have to use our voice. We got to unify, stand behind this cause. Again, this Saturday coming, we're gonna have a celebration, good music, good vibe. I'm gonna take y'all back. We just gonna vibe. We gonna play a lot of classic, a lot of hits. I know Elijah, he like that, old school. So I'm gonna do this for him.
All right.
I want people to celebrate, have a good time, mingle, communicate with each other, and just really, really, really enjoy the opportunities that we're gonna bring to everybody this weekend, as far as bringing everybody together
Right.
for Elijah, because I think that he would love that. We also asked the people to bring flowers, white flowers. We're gonna do a candle visual as well. We really want Aurora PD to know that we want justice, and we is that's all we want. Bring these officers to justice.
And that's all we can ask for as a community. And to touch back on the point of why people are so mad of us wanting equality, I feel like they're not mad that we want equality, just not trying to give us equality. Or people don't feel like we should be equal to them. So I feel like that old mindset, or that mindset period, should be erased, because regardless of how you feel, you're not superior. We should live as one, and we should live together. Our kids should be free to walk around town without feeling, like they got to watch over their shoulders for the people that we pay to protect and serve. We pay to protect and serve. The government don't pay the police. Your tax dollars pay the police. So why my kids can't walk and feel safe with a police riding by, feel more secure than afraid? It's crazy that me thinking about when I grew up, and a police car riding by through the neighborhood, everybody tense up. Everybody look, stop, watch, see what's going on, because of the fear of the police. And they
Right.
want and say, "Oh, why black people feel that? Why they say F the police? Because we in fear of the police. Because we're getting attacked entirely too much." I hate how people want to pull out statistics of, oh, black people not getting brutalized, black people not getting killed by police officers, black people this, black people that. But every story that's coming out is a black person.
Right.
Lady laying on the floor on her back with two officers holding her down, tasing her in her stomach. She was black. It wasn't a little white girl. It was a black girl.
Did you see the report on that one too? The police report?
Oh, I saw the police report. Hurt.
He didn't even mention that he tased her and roughed her up. Again, this is a consistent theme that we're seeing. So even if you're talking statistics, when they do the investigation and the report don't match what you're telling them, they gonna come back and say, you know what, there was no brutality there.
Get chalked up into that brutality column. That's going to get put over to the she was resisting arrest, and that's the major part in when people like Candace pulls up statistics that 75% of the black statistics don't even get documented. So with that being said, I just want justice for Elijah. I want justice for all, really. I want peace in the country for all. And we only can do that if everybody get off their high horse and start wanting equality for everybody.
Right.
And that's the only way that's going to work. You know, race war, that's not what is that going to do?
Set us back.
You know, it's not going to improve anything. And for any whites out there that feel some type of way about this video or feel some type of way about what we're saying, you're part of the problem. And since you feel some type of way, you need to go get help, because this is the reason why you're having these protesters and all of this stuff go down in your cities that you live in and you enjoy and you love and you don't want nobody to tear up. But your attitude is the reason why people are tearing up stuff. So change your attitude and maybe you can save your own city.
I mean, I just like to close with saying, man, again, this Saturday, Utah Park in Aurora from 5 to 8 p.m. It's going to go down. Good vibes, good music. We're going to celebrate as a community. We're going to show the media that we ain't got to always be rowdy, and we're going to have a good time.
Facts. And I hope everybody come out, support. What happened to Elijah was senseless, and he will stand up for you. From what I seen from him, the videos I watch, and the type of young man he was. And Miss McClain, you raised a great young man. I hope you know that. And if I know you already know that, but I just want to let you know myself that from what I witnessed from videos of your son, and you raised a good child. And don't let nobody else change that. With that being said, show up Saturday, Utah Park, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m., Aurora, Colorado, celebrating Elijah's life that he had, that these stupid cops senseless took away. Help get Elijah justice. Help put these men behind bars forever, and help get all the rest of these officers that's in these precincts out of there forever. They're not fit to be an officer. They don't need to be in there. This has been your boy 305 Kane.
And it's your boy DJ Reloaded.
Before we get out of here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And make sure you share this video. Spread this video out. Spread the word out. We want people to show up Saturday. So make sure you share this video to your friends and family. Make sure you let them know what's going down at 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, Utah Park, July 11th, Saturday, Aurora, Colorado. Peace and love.
Peace and love, fam.